So that's a quick demonstration why you shouldn't just rely on one form of fire lighting. Bracken was the only thing I could find tinder wise that would light with a ferrocerium rod, and basically it didn't want, and it was pretty dry, although it had rained all day yesterday, but it was pretty dry, but it just doesn't want to go up. So that's why I always carry three, probably more forms of lighting a fire, but you can't beat a feather stick with a ferro rod, that's my opinion. And matches are great. I like matches. As you can see, fire's lit, everything's fine, but bracken is shit. Well, the last slot of charred punk wood I made up here turned out really crap. It just didn't want to light, so I'm making some more. Yes, it is a messy fire. I'm going to build it back up again. Well, you may have noticed on the way in, I got a different bag. For the last year, I've been using my Bison Bushcraft Grand pack. Well, it's summer now, so I thought I'd have a little change, and I dig something out from the loft. My Frost River Messenger bag. Plenty of room in it, it's a great bag. I've had it a good few years. But I've got a new addition. Let me show it to you. So this is my new axe and saw case, and it was made by Brian Trubshaw of Journeyman Handicrafts. And Brian and I did a trade, and I gave him the knife, which was in a previous video, which I handled, and he gave me two of these. This small one for a small axe, and in here I've got my favourite Silky Big Boy. It was meant to have a smaller axe than this in it, but well, I like this one, so I brought this one today. And this one is my Gransforth small forest axe head on a hunter's axe handle, which I had off Mr. Toby Hobby of Red Kite Leatherworks, and the sheath was made by him as well. And I made a video a while back, and he'd made a sheath for a Mora knife for me, and he'd made a cracking job of it, and I was very pleased. So there's a plug for Toby and a plug for Brian. So apart from this one, he made me a big one for my 30-inch folding bow saw, Spring Creek, and with that then I put a bigger axe like my Gransforth forest axe, or particularly want to use it with my Wetterlings Hudson Bay. So I'm very pleased with this. It's extremely well made, like everything Brian does, and I've had quite a lot of stuff off him. And Brian and I are working on a project together, so stay tuned with that. So that is my new piece of kit I got today. I'm very pleased with it. My fire's now burning tidy, so I'm going to have a cup of tea. Well, the roof's up because we're having hail, where that wasn't forecast at all. Hail. Where the hell did that come from? Strange weather. I pulled my chart tin out of the fire about 15-20 minutes ago, and that's looking good. So we'll give it a little bit longer and then I'll try it. Use different stuff this time. I used spruce and punk spruce, and the last time I used punk birch, and it was a bit wet, and I think that's why it was crap. Even being in the fire and driving it out, I think it just fell apart. It wasn't good at all. So we'll try this spruce out. My star fire's ticking along now, all the small stuff's burnt out, but I do think that the wood I'm using isn't as good as last year's star fires, which were burning really well, and last year I was using spruce. this fire is rhododendron, and although it's as hard as hell and it burns good, on this configuration with very little heat it doesn't. So when these are burnt out, I won't be using rhododendron again. The reason I'm using rhododendron, because this woodland must be about 5-10 years ago, they came through here, thinned it all out because it was choked with it, so there's a lot of very dry large pieces around the place, and I've been burning them as I go. I'm not quite sure if it's slightly toxic, so I don't burn it that much, but not very good with this Starfire. Now, in a previous video I did a bow drill from scratch and I gathered 2 pieces of wood. Now, the first piece I gathered, I disregarded it in favour of the second piece because it felt a lot drier and a lot tougher. Now, I've got the other piece here. It's just been leaning against the tree, so it hasn't been taken home or anything. And what I'm thinking of doing is knocking up a little set with this to see if this one would have worked. Well, that's a lot better than the last one. This isn't going to work. Most of it's far too soft. Got a lot of rot in it. I think I'll carry on, but I'm not holding out much hope. First go didn't work, but I think it's going to work. job done. Didn't think that was going to work at first because there's a bit of rot in it and it was a bit damp. Well, that just goes to show. First go warming it up, second go doing the job. Excellent. That's 2 calls in a row for me with 2 different sets. Pleased with that. Well guys, that's another one over with. I came out today with absolutely no plans at all. I wasn't even going to bring the camera, but I picked it up last minute. Just wanted to show you one thing. This is how soft this drill is. The paracord has eaten into it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the start of it, where I failed miserably with the bracken, but that was for a reason. I just wanted to point out the fact, don't rely on bracken with a ferro rod, it's crap. Grass is slightly better as long as it's bone dry, but you can't beat a feather stick. Yes, always carry a couple of different fire lighting methods. Thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate any thumbs up and any comments. I love reading the comments and I will try and answer everyone if I've got something intelligent to say. Sometimes I haven't got anything intelligent to say. I do have to button my lip if I get a bad comment, but on the whole, I don't get any bad comments. One guy did comment and say I sounded like an imbecile. Well, I can't actually help the way I sound. This is where I live. This is where I was brought up. He can basically go and fuck himself. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Well, about 10 minutes ago I pulled my char material out, so that should be definitely done now. The last time I did it I used... oh shit. Fuck the chugger.